What if you could have a conversation with Andrew Huberman about your sleep problems, or have Tim Ferriss or Cal Newport design your perfect morning routine? That's exactly what I do all the time now. I chat with all of my saved content like it's a personal consultant. And the answers aren't generic ChatGPT responses. They're pulled directly from the specific experts and notes I've saved within my knowledge base. In the next 10 minutes or so, I'm going to show you exactly how to chat with all of your saved content. This is part 2 of my recall series. Part 1 covered the basics of the tool. There's a link below for that. But even if you haven't seen it, keep watching and you can still learn a lot. First, I'll show you 2 quick ways to get maximum value from this tool. Then we'll dive into 5 of my favorite workflows. Workflow number 2 is the one that made me realize this tool is absolutely insane. Here's what most people think knowledge management is: saving stuff, organizing it, and then you try and find it when you actually need it. That's what Notion does. That's what Obsidian does. You build these elaborate systems with folders and tags and templates, but that's not actually using your knowledge. That's just hoarding information with extra steps. The real power isn't in saving content, it's in extracting value from it. Think about this. If you consumed 50 hours of Andrew Huberman podcasts, you might remember like 5% of what he said, probably less. But what if you could just ask him a question right now and get an answer pulled from all 50 hours? That's what we're building today, and the setup for this is so simple. First, let me show you these 2 methods I used so you can get started really fast. The first thing you need to understand is this workflow changed everything for me. You can basically create a chatbot of any expert by bulk importing all their content at once instead of chatting with individual videos. Here's the step-by-step process. First, bookmark gathering. Okay, so open 20 to 30 tabs from your chosen expert, all of their YouTube videos or podcast appearances, maybe articles they've written, whatever. Bookmark them all into one folder. Recall did tell me they're adding CSV imports soon, which will make this whole process even easier. Second, bulk import. In Recall, click Add Content, then Import, then Bookmarks. Select your folder and Recall imports everything at once. After importing, you can immediately start chatting. You can ask questions right away. Now, the summaries don't generate automatically with bulk imports, but you can go through each card later and click Generate Summary. Let me show you my actual expert collection, okay? I have collections for Founders Podcast, Andrew Huberman, Cal Newport, Alex Ramosi, Sam Ovens, and now I can just add any of these and have a conversation with everything they've ever said. Now, once you have your experts loaded into Recall, the second step is where things get really interesting. So the second thing you need to understand is this: the AI chat gets exponentially more powerful when you add your personal context, not just expert content, right? Your own data, your own journals, your own tracking, whatever you have of yourself. Here's how you set it up. Create a note in Recall for your daily journals. I call mine Daily Reflections. Each day, just drop in a few notes: how you slept, your energy levels, what worked, what didn't. For project-specific journals, use tags to organize them. For me, maybe YouTube strategy notes or health tracking, whatever makes sense for you. The key is consistency over perfection. I have about 30 journal entries so far, and you'll see in a minute why that matters. Okay, so you've got your journals, you've got your expert collections. Now let me show you the 5 workflows that will genuinely make a difference for you. So let's say you want to design a morning routine that's actually based on science and it fits your specific life. Here's how to execute this. Open Chat in Recall, click the Add button, and then select multiple expert tags. So for me, Cal Newport, Tim Ferriss, Andrew Huberman. Here's the actual prompt. Now look at what you get back. A personalized schedule that combines elements from each of those experts, and it's adapted to my personal constraints from insights within my journal. So this isn't generic advice. It's not just wake up at 5 a.m. and meditate, right? It's pulling from 100 hours of expert content and combining it with what actually works for me. Obviously, you can see just how powerful this could be, right? Now, that's just one routine, but what if you wanted to take it a bit deeper on a specific problem? Like if sleep is a big issue. This is where Recall gets just super powerful. You can create a comprehensive sleep protocol based on multiple experts. I've saved probably 30 pieces of content about sleep, and I've got some journal entries on how I'm sleeping. Here's the prompt. So now it's referencing protocols from those experts, and it's cross-referencing my personal sleep data to see different patterns. It cites Huberman's morning light exposure recommendations. I can click on these timestamps and it jumps to the exact moment in the podcast. This is like having Matthew Walker as your personal sleep consultant who's also read your sleep diary. You wouldn't get this anywhere else, not from generic ChatGPT or Claude, because they don't have your specific saved content and your personal data. This is a huge difference, and no tool makes it as easy as Recall. This is why this workflow is so dang powerful. Now, this works for health stuff, but what about something like cooking? Wait till you see this. Let's say you saved a bunch of Joshua Weissman recipes, some Sip and Feast videos, and let's say you've got a note outlining your diet preferences as well. Here's a prompt I would use. So why does this work? It's not just pulling random recipes, it's understanding each different recipe source I've saved, it's adapting techniques and ingredients, and it's accommodating my specific diet constraints like food allergies, for example. And you can also add any recipe you choose and ask for a shopping list. This same approach doesn't just work for recipes, it also works for creative things like writing, for example. You could combine David Perel and Nicholas Cole writing samples or style advice. You could mix design principles from various designers. But let's get back to something practical. Let's work on using Recall to learn something new. So you want to learn a new skill and you've saved a bunch of tutorials, courses, and expert content about it, right? Let's say you're learning video editing. You've saved 30 YouTube tutorials, Premiere Pro documentation, and you've been keeping some notes on your progress. You could use a prompt like this. So what I get back is a structured curriculum, my own personalized course pulled from my saved content. But why is that different from just watching YouTube tutorials? Instead of bouncing around between random videos, you're getting a learning path curated from the exact sources that you trust. Okay, now finally, one more that's super practical for anyone working on projects. So let's say you need to synthesize insights from multiple sources you've saved for whatever you're working on. A personal example for me would be I'm planning YouTube videos. I have saved Ali Abdaal YouTube strategy content, Patty Galloway's breakdowns, a Mr. Beast interview, and then I have my own journal entries from my channel's progress. Here's the prompt. What makes this valuable is it's analyzing patterns across multiple expert strategies and then applying them to you by cross-referencing your actual performance data, which gives you specific actionable recommendations for your own work. The bigger point is this works for any project type: business strategy, research papers, content planning, product development. If you've saved relevant content and kept project notes, Recall can help you synthesize it all into actionable insights. If you haven't started yet, go set up your first expert collection right now. Pick one person you've learned a ton from, save 20 to 30 pieces of their best content, and import them as a collection. And then just ask it questions. You'll immediately see why this is so valuable. Now, in the next video, I'm showing you 3 features that make this even more powerful. Recall's automatic connections that link related content, augmented browsing that resurfaces your knowledge as you browse the web, and spaced repetition for actually retaining everything you are trying to learn. When it's published, it'll be here on the screen. If you thought AI chat was cool, wait until you see what happens when Recall starts proactively showing you relevant content before you even ask for it. It's pretty cool. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.